This has Phoenix Suns fans pumped up, as this is exactly what they wanted to hear following the introductory press conference with Brian Gregory and Jordan Ott today. He gave us some great clues in context of what he wants to be able to bring for this Suns team in their culture and identity, but not only just that, taking the command and taking charge. And what Jordan Ott said today has me locked in and bought into this new culture and identity that the Phoenix Suns are pushing for. So what did he have to say, and what is going to be happening with this team? We're going to be getting into all of that and more on this episode of Suns Digest. I am Bruce Veliz, and you guys have been absolutely fantastic showing your love and support on the channel. I really do appreciate all the combined efforts that you guys have been giving us. So let us know down below in the comments section what your guys' thoughts were on the press conference today from Jordan Ott. Without further ado, we're going to dive in and get into today's video at hand today. So make sure to grab that snack and let's discuss this Phoenix Suns team, as this was key to hear for the Phoenix Suns, in my opinion. We all know there were a lot of question marks surrounding the front office changes, as Matt Ishbia promised change and he hired Brian Gregory, his good old friend. And similar with Jordan Ott, a lot of question marks remained because he went to Michigan State. But all of those things being put aside, Jordan Ott had his first time to really step out to those Suns fans and really display to us what he's going to bring to this team and what kind of coach he is going to be. And I think what he's displayed today in this press conference should right away all those worries and issues of the connections of the Michigan State to this man, because he's well qualified and definitely deserves this opportunity. I already wrote an article for Bright Side of the Sun going into that, so if you want to check that, also read that. But we have some great quotes from some people that were at the media day today talking to Jordan Ott, and we got some from Gerald Bourguet saying he asked about the philosophies of Jordan Ott, mentioned it about his philosophies, and Jordan Ott mentioned that the Suns will play faster, playing earlier in the clock, have some more movement, cutting, finding ways to get extra possessions on offense, and defensively, he emphasized being aggressive, bringing more effort in communication and connectivity. This was also something that Brian Gregory mentioned in the press conference, saying when he asked around the league or asked certain players about Jordan Ott, not just Phoenix Suns players, they all commended that Jordan Ott was this type of player, was this type of coach. And that's exactly what Brian Gregory and Matt Ishbia made known at their introductory, or at Brian Gregory's introductory press conference a couple weeks ago. They said they wanted to really get a vocal leader, someone who could communicate and display hard work on both sides of the ball. And Jordan Ott qualifies in every single regard right in this last quote. Not to mention that Jordan Ott and the Suns will be building out his assistant coach and staff throughout this month, and that is something to keep an eye on as we get into later in the video with a little bit of an update and report. But not only just that, to keep some eyes on some names for the Phoenix Suns. But not only just that, Jordan Ott was also asked about his Michigan State connections, and I think this was the clear thing that a lot of people had some issues with surrounding his name, but was probably the biggest question mark, as Jordan Ott went to graduate school for Michigan State and did not overlap with Matt Ishbia or Brian Gregory when he was there. But when he was asked about this question, he says he's earned his right to be here. He spent 20 years working as hard as he possibly can to be in this spot, and he's earned this opportunity, and he said he's excited to prove that to people. That's what I want to hear out of my head coach. I don't want my head coach to be really thinking about it. He went right to the ball and basically said, buddy, you're not going to get away with this. I'm proven. I know what I'm capable of, and I'm going to show it to you this off season, so you better watch and wait. And I am bought into that. I'm ready to run through a wall for our guy in Jordan Ott, who feels confident already with this Phoenix Suns team, yet giving a day of head coaching in his life, he feels like he is ready to go. Not to mention, every executive around the league and coaches have also given Jordan Ott some praise as well, being an offensive and defensive-minded coach, saying he was a guy ready to take this next step for the Phoenix Suns and to finally get his opportunity to be a head coach, and I love to hear that. Not only did they say that, but Brian Gregory mentioned this, where he said substance commands the room now when talking about a player, or coach Jordan Ott. He said the Suns consulted, like I mentioned, with players and coaches around the league to sculpt a profile of what a successful NBA coach does look like, and a Suns Hall of Famer give him that line of substance commands the room now with Gregory, especially in regard to Ott. Gerald Bourguet let us all know it was Steve Nash. Kind of easy to kind of pinpoint that, as when John Gambardaro had released the information of Jordan Ott getting hired, he did state that Book stamped his approval, and Steve Nash did, give him some kind words. But also, Brian Gregory mentioned this as well when talking about a guy in Jordan Ott, saying players want an honest coach and an honest evaluation. Players want standards and to be held accountable for that, and that is Jordan Ott. something that was clearly not in this Suns organization last year when they had head coach, obviously, Mike Budenholzer at the helm. Honest coach with an honest evaluation, told Devin Booker to be quiet, told him not to speak up, not what a coach is supposed to do. Says players want standards to be held accountable for that. The Suns were asking for, what type of plays do you want us to run? What type of sets do you want us to be running? And they'd put KD in the corner and allow Book to bring up the ball and puts Tyus Jones in the corner doing nothing. Those types of stuff didn't really give out the Suns an outlook or a plan. We all know that it was also deemed that the Suns ran randomness offense and defense, which was a major concern within this organization because no one had a standstill. No one knew or identified their key role on this team and Mike Budenholzer's coaching staff with this roster. And Jordan Ott is here to change that. Jordan Ott is to right all those wrongs away and be that new voice in this room. If we want to look at this from Shane Young, Jordan Ott, the new head coach of the Phoenix Suns, taking that picture with Brian Gregory. Gregory did have some questions as well. Did answer on the ball with them. He was asked and kind of, jokingly said aligned and kind of smiled when he did say it. And I did feel bad for Gregory because obviously he got clowned on his first day for just kind of repeating the same jargon and really just talking about the same stuff. But ultimately, like I said in that video, if I were up there in front of thousands of people and was pressured into answering some big moves about the Suns offseason when I couldn't give out straight answers and or could, I guess, be nervous in that situation, I would definitely be repeating myself and saying kind of the same jargon and same words. So I felt bad for Brian Gregory in that regard, but he did kind of learn from it today, not really saying the alignment and hopefully working on kind of getting a little bit better of an understanding of how to display what he wants to do for this Phoenix Suns team. And I definitely think that he did that today. Obviously couldn't go into much detail on what the Suns wanted to do, but not only just that, but some key things to know were Ryan Dunn, Oso Ighodaro, Royce O'Neal, and Jalen Bridges, 4 Suns players, were all there in support for Jordan Ott. And I think what the key thing to know about this is that 2 of them are obviously rookies from last year, Jalen Bridges being a 2-way contract, but Royce O'Neal as well. I think what that really stakes for these guys, not only just in Ryan Dunn and Oso Ighodaro, is that Jordan Ott values them, is going to utilize them, and bring out the best of them, similar to what he's done with some of these younger teams like Brooklyn, even with some young guys in Cleveland as well, developing them. But not only just that, Jordan Ott has so much expertise in working in the Summer League, working with multiple different organizations in the Summer League as well. He is not going to shun Ryan Dunn and Oso Ighodaro. He's going to develop them and bring out the best in them. And even a guy in Jalen Bridges who might be creeping for a potential fringe NBA contract or even might be just back on a 2-way deal could also see some shine in love in the city of or with the Phoenix Suns as well, all depending on how the roster looks or, with dealing with injuries and stuff. Royce O'Neal, key to see him as well at this, kind of sticks. Maybe Royce O'Neal isn't as out as many people would like to think he is, or maybe as one of those tradable contracts for the Phoenix Suns, but ultimately, Jordan Ott, seeing these guys be here, getting this recognition, I think is key for this team. I do want to mention, once again, from Espo, that he says, I'm not into proving people right and changing the doubters' minds on his mindset. He loves this because his external motivation is a dangerous game to play as a leader, and I'm all in agreement with Espo here. He is not into proving people right. He is here to change the doubters' minds, and I know there were a lot of doubters within this offseason. I've seen you guys in this comment section. I've seen you guys all over social media, and trust me, this is not a doomsday hire. This, yes, was Jordan Ott probably my favorite candidate? No. Did I know as much about Jordan Ott, though? No. And now that I know more about Jordan Ott, doing my research, hearing from around the league, it is clear that Ott was a guy that was well worth this candidacy and is deserving of these qualities. Regardless of what connections he has, he is going to be someone that is going to be a new voice, and I think is going to take that turn to really put this Suns team on the burner. He talked about Devin Booker as well, talking about a little one-on-one workout that Booker had in the draft process when he was there, and he just said Booker's mentality and Booker's straight of game is what is just so much different. And they walked away from that draft workout knowing Booker was a different type of quality in a player that is going to succeed. And I do feel like that he still feels that with Devin Booker in this team, is willing to put those right pieces around Booker to ensure that the Suns can get back to that promising land. Before we sign out, I do want to let you guys know that there is some updates on the assistant head coaching search with revolving around Jordan Ott's assistants. Like we mentioned earlier from Gerald Bourguet, Jordan Ott did say that the Suns will be building out his assistant coaching staff throughout the month. John Gambadoro did let us know with a little bit of a tidbit news today that to keep an eye out on DeMarre Carroll as a potential assistant head coach to be joining this roster. But we did find out from John Gambadoro today as well that David Fizdale will not be retained by Jordan Ott. David Fizdale, as we all know, was with the Phoenix Suns for multiple seasons. He was in the front office when Frank Vogel was the head coach. Then he was an assistant coach all alongside of Mike Budenholzer last season, and was still in the running for a head coach when they were doing interviews, was brought in as that last interview. I don't know what that last report was, but now Fizdale will not be retained and be staying on this roster. Obviously, this is tough for David Fizdale. Had a long time as being a head coach and assistant head coach over his tenure, and the players in the Valley did say that they did like him, but with Ott coming in, with getting some new faces, it is going to be keen to see who is brought in and who can really help out those offensive and defensive qualities that the Suns are looking to bridge under this new management with Jordan Ott. I do wish David Fizdale the best of luck, but that's something I wanted to bring up to your guys' information as well, as that is something key when involving the Suns is now. Not only are they looking to do roster moves and potentially trading Kevin Durant, looking to trade Bradley Beal, Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, whoever is on the trade market, but they're also going to be looking to be adding some assistants over these next couple weeks. So definitely keep your eyes out on that. But once again, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Suns, personally, in my opinion, had a great day today of news. Jordan Ott hit a home run out of the park with this introductory press conference. And I think a lot of people that were doubters or still are doubters on Jordan Ott should really change their mind and really evaluate what he's going to be able to bring to this team, because so far what he said already has really bought me in. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in today's episode. I really do appreciate all the love and support you guys have been showing on the channel. It does not go unnoticed. So thank you guys so much once again. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day, and go Phoenix Suns.